So people are just like really not understanding why Renathal is an issue card. I'm going to, do some things to get this misconception out of the way. First off, I want people to stop like assuming that I just don't know what I'm talking about with this game mode, with if I'm just only an aggro player, things like that. So I'm gonna show some, pretty high placements that I've had. I'm not definitely not my highest. I'm not here to try and say that I'm better than people, which I'm not saying I'm not, but I understand that there are some people that play the video game just differently than how I play it. I understand that completely. That's fine. But I have I got a 262, and I think after I was finished playing, I got up to 200. I think it was 205 playing Questline Hunter during the Questline Druid Miracle Rogue Yogg meta, which was not an aggro meta. I want to point that out. Aggro was completely unplayable during that format. I got to, well, yeah, let's show the post. 240 playing a fucking Renathal Reno Hunter. Look at this shit. And there's 40 cards in my deck. Renathal is even in my deck, okay? Uh, I went from, I think I peaked at like 180 playing this, but it's just like that. I've even broken into top 500 playing Boomzuka Hunter. Again, not an aggro deck, doesn't beat aggro decks. I did on my 498 and 500th win on this account, which is kind of funny. Uh, I mean, I'm not just an aggro player. Like, yeah, I'll play some aggro. I'll get pretty high ranked with a anti-aggro deck because that's what Even Death Knight is, especially around this time with Construct Quarter things like that. It was an anti-aggro deck. There's even times I'll hit top playing completely centralized anti-combo decks. Like this deck was made to beat Discard Warlock during Disco Meta during March of Lich King, and it did pretty well. You can even go back through previous meta reports of different websites like Tempo Storm. Yeah, even Shaman is pretty high up. That's one deck. Reno Shaman, Even Warrior, Questline Warlock, Mind Rogue, Reno Druid, Miracle Rogue, Holy Wrath Paladin, Dragon Druid, yeah, okay, Shadow Priest as well. In Tier 1 and Tier 2, there's two aggro decks in here. Let's go to the one before. I don't think it'll actually change very much. I'm not gonna lie. It's only, yeah. I mean, it's like a week before. Usually, if it's like only a week or something, it's gonna be about the same. Reno Shaman, Even Warrior, Even Shaman, Aggro Priest. Yeah, it's gonna be about the same. Again, Reno Shaman, Even Warrior, Questline Warlock, Dragon Druid, Aggro Priest. This one I don't like actually. When they made this report, I don't know why the fuck they put Dragon Druid here when it was easily second best at the time, or maybe even better than Reno Shaman, arguably, especially at High Legend. So, I mean, don't trust Tempo Storm 100% of the time. Trust me, they have their issues, especially with what the deck, like what lists they put for some decks. Don't trust Tempo Storm very often, but it still gives you a baseline to understand what Wild really looks like. This is during Titans, Even Warrior, Miracle Rogue, Big Shaman, Even Shaman, Pirate Rogue, Aggro Priest, Questline, Beast, Aggro Odd. Okay, this one's more. This one's about 50-50 overall, to be honest, between like control, aggro, combo. This one's relatively even. And then you get things like this. This was while Yogg was still in the game. Tier 1, Questline Druid. Tier 2, Miracle Rogue. Tier 3, Druid. Tier 4, Quest Mage. And then you finally have an aggro deck. Like, this just keeps going back. The further and further you go back, you see that Wild isn't dominated by aggro decks. Like, yeah, Mech Paladin, but Mech Paladin was more an answer to Questline Druid than anything else. It like completely obliterated the matchup. And Mech Paladin was also really overpowered, let's be real here. It just dunked on even Shaman, it dunked on everything, kinda. But Questline Druid was easily the second best deck. They really overrate Even Shaman at Tempo Storm. I don't know why. You never see Even Shaman in Legend outside of bots playing it. It's kind of not actually that good of a deck. Let's be real here. But you can see Start of Titans, Questline Druid, was the first, and that was before Mech Paladin came to into the meta, just farming it. Questline Tony, Demon Hunter, Even Shaman. Still don't know why they overrate Even Shaman so much. Shudder, there's Mech Paladin, Beast, Priest, Seeker Mage. Going to the last patch, that was Festival of Legends for Tempo Storm. You have Questline Druid, Even Shaman, Tony, Beast Hunter, Mech Paladin, Shudderwalk, and then some more aggro. Tier 3, you have Reno, Odd Paladin, Kingsbane, even Warlock, Quest Mage, Tony Druid. Like, it's relatively even when it's like when there are a lot of aggro decks. There's usually a lot of control and combo decks, but like I'm saying, most of the time it's some kind of control combo miracle deck that's dominating the tier 1 slot. And here's the thing, is that people seem to just selectively forget that if we go back, the most recent tier S deck, according to Tempo Storm, which, I'd say it's not actually the most recent one. It should be Disco Lock, but I don't know where. I don't remember when Disco Lock had its thing. Anyway, Ramp Druid, tier S, when Festival of Legends came out, it was absurdly broken. Every Druid deck was broken because you would play Twig Sphere and you could tutor them with, look who's in the background, Instrument Tech. Even going back to the last patch of March of the Lich King, Shudderwalk Shaman on top. Yeah, you have even Shaman Pirate Rogue in tier 1 as well. This is an anti-aggro deck. Yeah, aggro deck. Anti-aggro deck. I mean, it's Beast Hunter. Beast Hunter kind of. I'm not going to go into the details of why I think Beast Hunter sucks, but whatever. Combo deck. Combo deck. Combo deck. Like, in tier 1. It's not an aggro-centric format. I don't know where this misconception came from. This was a patch where, before Cataclysm nerf, in Discard Warlock, Discard Warlock's it's an aggro deck, yes, but it's also a combo deck. You would build up your hand, play Cataclysm, so it's 50-50. Even Shaman, I still don't know why they overrate Even Shaman, I'm not gonna lie. Free Shaman, Pirate Rogue, Seeker Mage, Cthulhu Druid, Quest Mage, Pillager Rogue, even Unholy Death Knight, Reno Priest, combo control decks all over. This one doesn't have Disco Lock in tier 1. I'm not too sure. I don't remember this exact meta very well, what was happening around this time, January 2023. I feel like Disco should have still been good, but maybe people just weren't playing it. Anyway, Miracle Rogue, Free Shaman, then Even Shaman, Even Warlock, Seeker Mage, Pyro Rogue, Beast Hunter, Reno Priest, Pain Warlock, Reno Warlock. Like, these aren't just aggro decks dominating the format. Like, what is this misconception from people that don't play Wild, having no idea what the format actually looks like? Now, the reason that I brought up my placements, then I went through and talked about the last year of Wild, is for one simple fact. Renathal doesn't actually make control decks better in Wild. True control decks will never exist in Wild. They just won't, and people, for some reason, think that that's because of aggro. No, it's not. Aggro doesn't care about value. Aggro just wants to hit you in the face. It doesn't care about your fucking terrible 8-mana legendary that, generates you a card. That doesn't matter. You would never play that into aggro anyway. It's combo decks that make it so control decks can't play value. Shudderwalk Shaman is a control deck, but it's also a combo deck. Reno Quest Mage, or just regular Quest Mage, Mine Rogue, Alex Rogue, Pillager Rogue in the past, Even Warrior, Skipper Warrior. These are all combo decks. Some of them are control decks as well. That's why Renathal being reverted is an issue. Because it's not just that it makes aggro worse in the format. It does, but it makes it so combo decks become better. Because people are going to play Renathal in their decks. They're going to no longer have consistent card draw towards their combos. They're no longer going to have consistent card draw towards Disruption, which means combo decks just get to farm them, and they no longer have to worry about losing to aggro because aggro will be less prominent in the format. If I haven't explained this articulately enough for you, and you don't play Wild, I don't know why you're typing away in my comment section about this stuff. I can't explain this any better why the Renathal change is not good for the format. It is just terrible for the future longevity of the format, especially if you are especially if you're a control player. You don't want Renathal in, because the more people play Renathal, the more people are going to play combo, which beats your control deck. I don't know. People just get really annoying in my comments. If you think I'm wrong about this, I don't know why you could, but tell me what you think I said that was wrong in this. Again, I wasn't trying to flex on people with my ranks I've hit in the past with various decks. I was just trying to lay a ground point. Anyway, peace.